Saints Row 4, Grand Theft Auto 5, or Watch Dogs? Which one of these three upcoming open world games I'm looking forward to? Well, I'll tell you mine and I'll give you some reasons. But before we get to this video, let's get to the question of the day. Alright, so stay tuned to the end of this video to find out the answer to the question of the day. Alright, so Saints Row 4, Grand Theft Auto 5, and Watch Dogs. All three games are set to release later this year. Saints Row 4 coming out in August 2013, right? And basically the fourth installment in the Saints Row series of open world crime video games and just crazy mayhem. GTA 5 is of course the sequel to GTA 4, coming out in September 2013, scheduled. Watch Dogs is set to release in November 2013, so it's actually the furthest away and the latest in 2013 to come out. Oh boy, I'll be honest, I'm more excited about Watch Dogs compared to either of them, because we've seen Grand Theft Auto, we've seen Saints Row. But not just that, there is that familiarity. Watch Dogs is a new IP. It's a brand new video game. And so I think that this game, despite it being, it's an open world action-adventure game, I think the actual gameplay, the core mechanics, the way you play this game is going to be a little bit different compared to those games. It's not just going to be your typical third-person shooter, get into a car and shoot people and, drive around and just shoot a bunch of enemies. I think the objectives in this game is a little bit different. The whole hacking kind of thing, and being able to control information and destroy devices. There is sort of a, I don't want to say cyberpunk, but there certainly is that element of sort of a futuristic, near future kind of thing going on. And it feels kind of like a game that's closer to something like, maybe like Shadowrun or something like that, where I'm not talking about the 360 shooter that was Shadowrun, but the actual, original early 90s video game. Something like that, that kind of secrecy and, hidden agenda, that kind of thing, and mysterious storyline and characters. There's this feel of fighting the system, fighting a bigger opponent. A lot of these dystopian type of environments, and I guess Watch Dogs probably isn't dystopian. I don't think so. It's set in just the modern times. But it looks cool, man. Augmented reality, all that shit. So, if I had to choose, I definitely would pick Watch Dogs. This one looks cool, looks dope, it looks ill. It's coming out for all the consoles, PS3, Wii U, 360, and the PS4. Holy shit. No, every time I see an upcoming game for the Xbox 360, I'm impressed by it. I just go, my god, this fucking 8-year-old system is still kicking it. It's an old console. It's been around for, just 2 years removed of a decade. My god. Put it this way. I don't want to get off too much on a tangent, but the 360 has been around since 2005. That's like if a game in 1998 came out for the Super Nintendo. But it's like a game that's supposed to be on the fucking, let's say, the PlayStation and the Sega Saturn, and for that matter, the N64 at that time. And it's just, I find it so amazing, like, holy shit. Watch Dogs on the Xbox 360, man. Because it just feels like the 360 it's not as strong as the other consoles, let's face it. It's not as powerful. It's outdated at this point. It's very dated, the system, the engine. But it's still kicking. It's still delivering these games. They're still putting out titles for it. I love it. It's great. I just imagine, what game came out in '98? Fucking, let's say, WCW Revenge, or, you know, Ocarina of Time coming out for the Super Nintendo as well as the N64. Like, what the fuck would the Super Nintendo version would look like, you know? Oh my gosh. Granted, it's not the same thing. Like, the 360 is a much more powerful system than, you know, some 16-bit, and the comparison isn't exactly equal, but just that generational gap is, you know, that 8-year lifespan is holy shit. Yeah, back to Watch Dogs. This game looks awesome. I can't wait to play it and try it out. I can't wait to see the reception, you know what I mean? I want to see the reviews first. I don't want to fucking rush out and buy this game right away. Any of them, you know? I'm sure Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to have good reception, good reviews. People are probably going to name it Game of the Year. You know how fucking gung-ho people get? When Grand Theft Auto 4 came out, everybody said that was the greatest game of all time. Everybody gave it a perfect fucking 10. Like it's the best video game ever made, and in retrospect, and even then I knew Grand Theft Auto 4 wasn't that amazing. It was a very good game, well made. Probably the graphics being its best, best fucking part of that game, like the best aspect of it. But even the graphics has become dated. You know, the gameplay is just sort of by the numbers, third-person shooter, open-world game. It just feels a little bit more realistic because it looks realistic. More of a fucking, yeah, I mean, reality. That's what it is, a little bit. With GTA 5, I expect it to be more of the same, but just probably, you know, more activities and shit like that. Better graphics, a little bit better graphics, but not that different from Grand Theft Auto 4. You know what I mean? It's just. So, I expect it to have good reviews. I think everybody's gonna fucking suck this game's nutsack and just completely ride it and, Game of the Year, that kind of thing. I predict GTA 5... Did I say Grand Theft Auto 4? Just forgive me if I say Grand Theft Auto 4, when I really mean Grand Theft Auto 5. You know, GTA 5, I think this game is... Well, I was gonna talk about the reception, like the critic scores. It's gonna be like the Game of the Year or whatever. Like people are gonna say it's Game of the Year, but it's probably gonna be more like an 8. You know what I mean? Like an 8.5, that kind of thing. I don't know. I can't imagine this game, me playing this game, being like a fucking 9 or 9.5. Even a 9 would be. I understand that, but like a 9.5 or a perfect 10, I don't know. A lot of these games get over fucking hyped. You know, there's so much buzz around it because it's a big title, obviously, and there's so much money behind it, and the legacy of Grand Theft Auto, so it's like, oh shit, they got a lot to live up to. And I think it's gonna be a pretty good game. I just don't think it's gonna be Game of the Year. I don't think it's gonna be like the best game ever made. And then you have Saints Row 4, which I've already stated before, but I'll say it again. This might be the sleeper Game of the Year, like, you know, could be better than fucking GTA's gameplay. This is a direct fucking sequel to, obviously, Saints Row 3, but I'm curious what kind of new things they could include in this. I don't know, you know, as far as the storyline, I'm not a big fan of Saints Row the 3rd story. I think that it's okay. You know, they really went off the fucking rails with that game and just became really crazy-ass wacky. But, I don't know, they removed a bunch of stuff as well. So, there's definitely some criticisms. Like, a lot of fans just feel Saints Row 2 was a better game than Saints Row the 3rd. More customization and shit like that. It removed a bunch of stuff. And, you know, that kind of sucks when that happens. So, will the same problems in the 3rd be in fucking 4? Like, it's gonna be set several years following Saints Row the 3rd, and apparently the leader, the 3rd Street Saints, the protagonist, whoever your character is gonna be the main fucking... Well, no, he's the president of the United States. But yeah, he's the main character. I can't... The reason I get so fucking confused with this main character is because there is no main character. It's basically you, because you get to play as the person. And you can customize a person into whatever, you know, they can look like. And then you have the thing with the Enter the Dominatrix, which is basically an expansion or DLC type of thing, and it was actually included in this instead. I mean, that's definitely something to look out for, and aside from that, this game, it really should be a decent game. I'm hoping it's somewhat relatively enjoyable, but I just can't see this game, like, getting over maybe an 8 or an 8.5. Like, you know, Saints Row the Third wasn't the greatest, and I have a feeling that Saints Row 4 is just gonna have more of the same from Saints Row the Third. The graphics and everything like that, the gameplay, the stuff that they left out, and I'm not sure. And it's a little kind of soon too. It feels a little bit like, even though it's gonna be 2 years, it's almost like, oh my god, we're getting another Saints Row game. Despite the fact that, I don't know, like the last one was from 08, and then we got the other one in 2011, so at least there was a 3-year gap there. This one is only 2 years, and it just, another Saints Row. It's coming up right along that fucking, you know, yeah, it's coming out a little bit earlier than Grand Theft Auto and Watch Dogs, but it's around that similar, you know, fucking season. But here's an interesting little thing here. Ubisoft's executive director, by the way, is it Ubisoft or Ubisoft? I've heard some people say Ubisoft. I'm like, what the fuck? I've always pronounced it as Ubisoft. Executive director, blah blah blah, Alain Cour stated that Ubisoft wants Watch Dogs to compete with open-style games such as the Grand Theft Auto series. Holy shit. It really is on. I mean, holy smokes. It's gonna fucking happen. I mean, this is gonna be an actual in-competition. Like a direct, I don't know, I guess stab at the GTA slice of the pie. And especially coming from a big company like Ubisoft, that's, you know, they make the fucking Assassin's Creed and all these big games, it should definitely be a... Holy crap. I'm excited for Watch Dogs. I can't wait to see how this game plays. Alright, so this was the answer to the question of the day.